Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, and we are right in the middle of July already. I just got back from an incredible walk with my dog, and I know it has been a while since I've been on. You know how you just sometimes need to just back away from life and live life and think about your life and what is most important to you. What has remained constant is my love for nature and my spiritual growth with the divine. And it has only gotten more deeper, more tremendous, on another whole other level. Anyway, so just thought I would come on and just start talking because it has been so long since I've been on to see you guys. I guess you could say what I'm doing that has been most important, and that is getting real with me, getting real with what is inside of me instead of what is outside of me. That's the answer for everybody. Going within and listening to your heart and finding out what really matters, what your heart is telling you to do. And mine was just saying to just disengage and just be. It's more of, I know the same of what I was talking about a handful of months ago, but it has only deepened. It's only gotten better. If this makes sense, learning to accept life as it is, learning to accept what has been on my path, or I should say, learning to accept my path, just learning to accept things and realizing that you are right where you're supposed to be, and really look at your life as an experience. There are no mistakes. Each step that you take, you're creating the life that you want. And in some cases, when you know what you don't want, you find out what you want. And so that's what I've been doing. A lot has transpired or changed, happened. Back in February, lost my gorgeous dog, my gorgeous golden retriever keeper, who came into my life, I know, to help me and my kids on our path, what we needed to do. He was there when he needed to be there. He literally stuck his neck out for us. He took on, while he was big and beautiful and happy-go-lucky, he took on a lot, and it created cancer in his body, which he took on quite well, to the point where we knew that he was ill, but we're not quite sure as to the depth of just how enormous this was that he took on. And it ended up taking him, it did him in, and so February, just before he was too young, just before he was going to be 8 years old, He was too young. And I know there's a lot of facts out there that do say, well, even for us, okay, think about how you live your life when you're not living in joy and you're always looking for the triggers. You're always looking for the other shoe to drop instead of looking for the magic and looking for the harmony and the happiness. We're always looking for what could go wrong. It's that, what is that, Murphy's Law? What can go wrong will go wrong. If you live your life like that, with that outlook, that is exactly what the universe will give you. Keeper, though, Keeper was an angel, and he held up. He stood up to life, and he did a very good job, but it wore him down, and he let go. And so that happened, and we're kind of, all of us now are realizing it, and it's settling, we're seeing it. And so it's helped us to learn to, if I can explain it, think about that movie, The Secret. I think some people have it in their heads that, oh, well, I can just, sit on the couch and life will happen for me, but that's not true. You've got to participate. You've got to get in it and participate in it. You've got to feel the feeling of the joy, of the happiness, of the life that you want. And that's what the universe is going to respond with. If this makes sense to you, the universe listens to vibrations. It feels vibrations. It feels your vibration. No, not everybody's life is perfect. No, certainly far from it. I've come a long way. My kids and I have come a long way to get to this point, and every day it's a blooming and blossoming of life, of the things that we've encountered, we've endured, we've created. Your life is creation. It is what you are making it. And if you stop and you look around you and say, is life the way I want it to be? And if it isn't, set about changing it. Set about trying to fix it. And the way I can tell you that is to feel the feeling. Listen to what's in your heart. The mind can be an incredibly noisy place. I know it is for me. I have a very hard time getting quiet and just being quiet. And so the way I deal with that is, right now the wind is blowing and I am in heaven, is to take a walk with my little dog, Eddie, who is our little companion and keeper's roommate, my little Eddie. We take a walk and we change it up every day. And when we walk, we don't put anything in our ears, but if I do, it's bird sounds or soft classical music. But I have come to realize that I like just the sounds of the nature that are around me. And take that walk. And by doing it, I allow my mind to rest. And I allow my heart space to expand. Because when you're in nature, you get to see things that touch your heart, that help your heart to grow, expand, to feel. And this happens when I see birds, when I see the trees. Now, the trees I can't say enough about. There are some incredibly beautiful trees here where I live. that have been here forever. And they have some incredible wisdom, stories to tell. So just tap into it. Just stop and look at a tree. If you can hug it, or put your hand on it and thank the universe for the trees. Because when you stand with them, there's a feeling, a coolness, an air that's just incredible. And just feel it. Allow yourself to get grounded and feel it. You guys, life is what you make it. It is just this simple. In the same sense of saying there are no magic bullets, there are. We are surrounded by them. And they're things that money can't buy. They're just so simple. You start with looking down at your feet. Look around you. Look at what is around you. What is around you is what you have created. And if you're happy with it, oh my God, more power to you. Go with it. Create more of it. Go with that flow. My son and I were having a talk a couple of days ago, and he was having anxiety over something, and I've started painting. I also write, but my mind is so busy, as I said, and allowing my heart to breathe and be free. I let it go through my paintbrush, and I just sit and I paint, and I allow my mind to stop that way. And just, he was talking to me, and I just said to him, Simon, just shine. That's all you got to do is just shine. Let that light shine. Touch people with your light. Stop the madness of trying to change the tide. The tide is going the way it's supposed to go. Or in the words of Abraham, take your oars up out of the water. Your canoe, your boat, your paddles, your oars, take them up. Take them up. And just allow yourself to just flow. And I know it's easier said than done, but think about what happens when you unplug some crazy sound that you're sick of hearing. If there is arguments, if there's arguments going on in your family or your workplace, what happens if you pull the plug, if you step out? Just step out of it. I used to be a yard duty at school, and kids would get into it on the playground. And, my job was to come over and make sure they were having fun. A lot of times I had to intervene because kids, everybody is the same way. We come into this life knowing, but you learn by doing. And sometimes, when they go out there on the playground, that's when they worked it out. That's when they had issues and things to deal with. But, that's my mind is already going on that, about ways in which I could have done things better. Wasn't happy with the way I handled certain things. But for the most part, just go. I would go out there and say, hey, allow this person, just allow them to be who they are. Stop trying to control the situation. Just step out of it. Go and do something that makes you happy. Or just sit down on the grass and look up at the sky. Or look at the trees. And just listen. Listen to what your heart is telling you. Some kids would be crying, and I'd say, cry. It's like a burning building. The sprinklers come on, and your tears, the water flows, and those are your tears. It's dousing that fire. Go for it. Or we would be playing in the playground, and it would start to rain. And they would start panicking and running, and I'd say, it's just rain, it's water. You know, it's not going to hurt you. You will dry. You know, of course, there are those who love to jump up and down in the puddles. You know, I'm sorry, I'm looking around for my water. One moment. I've got my water. But just start stopping. Stop in the middle of things. Stop trying to control your life, because the more you do that, the more resistance you're adding to your life, and you are not allowing your boat to float. Allow your boat to float and let your light shine and be in the moment of your life. Be in your life. Don't allow life to take you. I mean, allow life to take you, but don't allow yourself to stop your life from flowing. Don't be so in control. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, like when you're driving your car, run the red lights. Try to be, don't try, be the light. Shine that light. Put on, reach into your heart and look for any feeling good thought that is there. Reach into yourself and think about something that makes you happy. Allow yourself to feel good. Disengage from the triggers. Disengage from the fear. I know you've heard fear stands for false evidence appearing real. Fear is an ugly thing. It can trick you into thinking things that aren't real. Let go of the ego a little bit. The ego, we need the ego because the ego is protecting us. But there are some times when you disengage, you realize you've allowed your ego to drive your car. And that's when I say you look around and you say, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the way this life has gone. And you're responsible for that. Responsible for, if I may use relationships as an example. Your ego has stepped in to protect you, and you've gone with the flow of a relationship, and you've done things you really didn't want to do, but you did it to save yourself, to save the peace, to not cause any craziness. You know, you've just decided to just go, yeah, when you really did not mean that. You need to honor yourself. Life is about honoring yourself, being who you are, being authentic, and going with the flow. And what does it for me is nature, disengaging when you're not happy, stop the noise, stop the drama, stop the madness, unplug, you know, just disengage. And sit amongst the trees, walk among the trees, listen to some soft music, or just listen to nature. And just be, you know, be in this moment. I've got my little water trickling behind me. I've got hummingbird feeder back there. I've got one in front of me. I've got pumpkins growing. I've got a garden right in front of me. I've got 2 kinds of tomatoes. I've got collards growing. I've got squash growing, cucumbers, eggplant. Start with what you have and go from there. Create your space. Create your life. Create by doing what makes you happy, what makes your heart feel at ease. If you can, stop the madness. If things are not going the way that you want them to go in your life, start today. There's never a better time than right now. Because the universe is responding. They are listening. Okay, so I'm going to go now. I wish you all a wonderful day, and let's hope that the rest of July is what we want it to be. Okay, you're in charge of that. It's all up to you. You guys, peace. I'll talk to you later.